If you're a working mother or mother-to-be who would like to strike a balance between caring for your family and succeeding in business, welcome to Mother Industrialist Live Show, where we talk about entrepreneurship, parenting, and life. Kenneth Chu, the show host, brings in a different guest every episode to share how to perfectly balance parenting and work. Today, more than ever, you can choose to live life on your own terms, to craft a future for yourself and your family that is emotionally and financially rewarding. So sit back and enjoy the show.
Okay, so welcome to episode 52 of Mother Industrialist Live Show, where we talk about entrepreneurship, parenting, and life. And I'm Kenneth Chu, the host and also the author of Mother Industrialist. So sorry for everyone for the technical problem that I thought on the audio, but nevertheless, today we have Allison Jackson, and let's welcome her. Hello, Allison. Thank you for
Hi,
coming
Kevin.
on.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I'm so glad that we got connected, and also thanks to Pat that had introduced us, because you are her fitness coach, and I'm so glad that you make time, especially now it's about in the morning for you.
Yes.
Okay,
It's about
cool.
9 o'clock in the morning, so just getting my day started.
Okay, so before we officially kickstart, there's a tradition where every guest gets to post a question of the day out to the audience and also to the next guest. So are you ready with the question of the day posted by the previous guest before we can officially kickstart the show?
I'm ready.
Okay, so the question of the day is, put money and time aside. What would that something be that you could invest in yourself? Okay, I repeat again, the question of the day is, put money and time aside. What would be that something that you would invest in yourself? Okay, spend some time to think about it while I go onto Facebook Live to see if we are live successfully, and I'll come back to you.
Great.
Okay, good.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay, let me see. We are live. Okay, this is myself. Okay, good. I can hear you loud and clear, and I see some people coming on live. And hi, for those who are coming on live, thanks for coming in. Thanks for making time. So, Allison, are you ready with your answer to the question of the day posted by the previous guest? Okay,
I am.
Share it with us.
Sure. So if time and money were no object, I would definitely go back for yoga training and also a nutrition degree, because I'm just obsessed with learning about health, nutrition, fitness. So I would love to just dedicate more time to doing that.
Wow. So thanks for sharing with us your answer to the question of the day. And now we can officially kickstart the show. So once again, thanks for making time. I know that today is Monday, early morning for you. And maybe you can do a short introduction out to the audience who are new to you, and maybe to share with them, where are you from, what are you currently doing, and what got you into this online fitness and nutrition coaching?
Sure. So I am based in New Jersey, so it's bright and early Monday morning here. And I am married. I have 2 children, a 15-year-old son and an 11-year-old daughter.
Wow.
I work full-time in corporate communications. And in the past year, I recently started an online fitness and nutrition business. And that kind of came about because I've always been involved in fitness, but over the past 7 years, started competing in figure competitions, which is kind of like bodybuilding meets beauty contest. And that's really kind of fueled my passion to, keep going further and further. And people started asking me like, hey, could you help coach me to get to the point where you got to? So it really kind of popped out of nowhere. I mean, I've always been passionate about fitness, but it really started to evolve into a business over the past year or so. Really started to ramp things up and dive all into online fitness and entrepreneurship.
Wow. That is such a very good introduction, and it's so short and sweet. I was expecting like maybe there will be something that will be long enough. And I'm just curious, like you were saying that because you started fitness and all that stuff, how is that something that you've been doing since you were young, or you just pick it up recently?
Sure. So back when, in my teenage years, my dad used to have a weight bench in the basement, and I would read his muscle and fitness magazines. And I always thought it was amazing how these people would transform their bodies through weightlifting and building muscle and reducing their fat levels. And I was like, wow, is that really possible? And, it always was in the back of my mind. I used to teach aerobics back when they called it aerobics. I played field hockey in high school and college. I did jazzercise. Like I kind of went through, I did CrossFit, ran marathons. Like I've always been involved trying different things involving fitness. So it's always been a part of my life, but I've always loved weight training. And now I've kind of, I used to be a big runner. Like I used to run constantly. Now I'm completely focused on weight training and lifting weights. So to answer your question, yeah, fitness has always been a part of my life in different shapes and forms. And it's just so much fun to actually create a business from your passion, to your book, purpose, passion, profit. I feel like it has all three.
Yeah, and I realized that your inspiration comes from your dad. Your dad was the fitness guy that is in your family. Is there any other family members that are also in fitness, or your dad is mainly the one?
Both my parents, so my dad was very into lifting weights. My mom was more into, aesthetically, like aerobics and staying in shape. But
Oh,
I always liked that they cared about their bodies and their health and their nutrition. So that, kind of planted the seed for me as well, that, you really, it's an investment in your health is huge.
wow. So your parents basically they are role models for you to really keep fit and really into the fitness and wellness like in the industry itself, because you are exposed
Yeah.
to that and you have a lot of knowledge, I believe. So has that fitness thing stopped when you became a mom, or it just continued from there? Because especially when you're pregnant and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and after you gave birth, did that routine stop, or did you find it hard for you to come back, or hard for you to keep fit?
Mhm. So during my pregnancy, I tried to obviously keep moving and exercising as much as I could. Obviously, the bigger you get, the harder it
Mm.
gets to to do that. But after I had both my children, I gained 40 pounds with each baby. So I was like,
Wow.
what's happening? So that was really motivation to kind of just jump back in as soon as I
Ah.
could to get back into those workouts and make sure I was eating right. But again, like my parents were role models for me. Now I'm role models for my children. I want them
Mm.
to take care of themselves, eat well, exercise,
Mm.
and take care of their health.
So in fact, putting on the 20 pounds, is it 20 pounds or 40 pounds? The 20,
40,
40.
40
Oh,
with each
wow,
baby. Yeah.
that is a lot. That is a lot. So
Yeah.
so that does not stop you from even like to keep fit. In fact, it motivate you to lose
Mhm.
that 40 pounds.
Yes.
Wow. So
Yes.
how long
Yes.
did you lose that 40 pounds after delivery?
Well, it takes you 9 months to put it on. So it took me a good 6 or 8 months to take off.
Okay.
So, my husband kept saying, the baby only weighs like 8 pounds.
So the rest is by
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah. So do you eat a lot during like pregnancy? Because like they always say that the baby wants to eat, and that's where you started eating more. Or is
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
because you were
So, the doctor's like 500 calories more a day is, right where, but I think a lot of women, I don't think I'm alone, where it's kind of a license to eat, where it's like, well, if I eat right, I'm not going to look any better. I'm just getting bigger. So I think I ate just a little bit too much for me and the baby.
Mm. In fact, now I'm really curious, like how do you look like when you have that 40 pounds? Yeah,
I
because
was,
you
I was
you look
pregnant all over, like my face, my arms, everything.
because now you look amazing, and when the first time
Oh,
I saw you, we met up on Zoom. And I was like, wow, you look amazing, and you look like a young mother, I would say. And when you told me
no,
that your kids are already in their teens, I was really amazed. Yeah, and you really look good and vibrant and radiant. So
thank you.
so how do you do that? Because you have just shared with us during the introduction that you're having a full-time job, but now you
Mhm,
also like all in into this fitness coaching. How do you
mhm.
manage to balance all this, like your full-time job, your business, your coaching business, And you being a mother, although your kids are really big, do they still depend on you a lot, or you have more time on yourself now?
So, I mean, I have a little bit more time to myself, but they do, I feel like, need me more now than when they were babies. They're much more cognizant of how involved I am or am not. But just in terms of creating the time, it's prioritizing. So obviously I work from, 9 to 5, 9 to 6. So that's my priority, carving time out for work. And then it's just really prioritizing your free time. So instead of sitting in front of the TV or just, scanning through Facebook, it's dedicating time to move my business forward, whether that's, social media posts or reaching out to different people. And then, I try to incorporate the kids in there. So, my son's taking a social media class. So I'm asking him for tips, what can I do with my website? But it's really, blocking out time and prioritizing what's most important to you. I think that's the key to, being able to fit it all in.
So from what I hear from you is like time management is really very important for you, because you're like allocating time for the children, for your business, for maybe for yourself, or maybe with your husband and stuff like that. So is there any routine that you're sticking on, or do you learn it from somewhere, someone?
So I hope people don't cringe, but I get up really early in the morning. I get up at between 4 and 4:30 in the morning. So I want to get my workout in and get, I do have a little bit of a routine that I try to stick to just be more productive during the day. So it's, it's reading, it's meditating, it's doing some stuff with my business, just to get those out of the way to make sure I am moving things forward, even if things come up during the day where that doesn't allow me to get to what I want to by the end of the day.
Wow. So I'm just curious, going back to like, how do you get all this started? Like, how long was that when you start doing this coaching, or were you doing it coaching like as a hobby before you officially do it more professionally?
So that's a great question. And what I did was, there were a couple of people that asked me about helping them. And so what I did was I would help them for free, or like one of my friends was a social media manager. So he would give me social media tips in exchange for coaching him. But what's really helpful is to offer your services for free to 4 or 5 people, because it enables you to get testimonials. It gets you comfortable with your program and what you're offering, helps you refine that. So yeah, highly recommend that. And you're helping your friends. Like I helped one of my friends lose 30 pounds, which, she was thrilled. I was thrilled. So, it's fun to see that as well.
And I hear you, and it's good to start getting like testimonials and friends with result. That means you help them to achieve the result. So at least you can there's credibility that you can build up. But at the same time, I also understand that we may have friends who we help them, but they would not be disciplined enough for them to be able to achieve the result. So do you have like like um like maybe clients or even friends that they wanted to lose weight, or wanted to keep fit, but in the end they did not follow? Are they like people like that?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, there's
So
definitely people that want a program, and then you give it to them and it's like, well, they still do what they want to do. And it's like, well, like you have to meet in the middle somehow. I mean,
okay, so in the end, you will still try to compromise whatever that they try to meet in between, rather than say, okay, maybe this is not for you, but you will still try to meet in between
yeah.
and help them in any ways.
Yeah, because sometimes it's mindset, sometimes it's inability. Like I have a person who's struggling with tracking their food, and sometimes they just need a little bit more coaching. So it's just being able to understand kind of that extra attention that they need, and providing that to them.
Wow. So do you feel that is what is the most important thing for anyone who want to really have a healthy body and really to keep fit like you? Because for you, you started really young, and it became a habit, and also because your parents are into fitness and wellness. So how about for people who do not have that, like maybe the environment, or maybe their family members are not that healthy, are not into fitness? How do you help them, especially for them to really start the ball rolling?
Sure. So just some basic tips that anybody can do is there are tons of free apps. Like I personally like MyFitnessPal as a way to track your food. So it's important to
Oh.
understand what you're putting in your mouth every day. Because I think a lot of people, you don't realize you're taking a piece of candy here and a little taste of this and a taste of that. It all adds up at the end of the day. So tracking food, your nutrition is number one. You can't out-train a bad diet. So just a minimal amount of movement. It could be 10,000 steps, just tracking your steps every day. Those basics, you'd be surprised at how far you could get with just that.
Okay, so with the basic step and also to track the food intake, that really helps a
Yes.
lot, which is
Yeah.
like a kickstart to the diet and also to the fitness, getting the
Yes.
thing going until when they are pretty okay with that, then that's where you move to the next level more.
Then you move to the next level. You're incorporating weight training. You're looking
Mm,
at your carbs, protein, and fat. And
mm.
so then it's just like you build upon it step by step.
And I'm curious, like how can fitness and coaching be online, like for fitness? Like normally most of us know that we have maybe a fitness trainer or a trainer that is in the gym watching us do all that. But how is it possible to do it online? Which I'm also really interested. Maybe you can share with us.
Yeah. Sure. So I used to be an in-person personal trainer, and I found that a lot of times you're just going with people to the gym and counting their reps, like going to exercise, counting their reps, which that's not doing anything for anybody. But with online coaching, I'm able to, so I could go on the back end of my MyFitnessPal and track your food log. So I could see
Oh.
what you're logging. And then I'll have Zoom calls like this, and I'll also share workout videos. So I'll create a video of workouts and send it to them, and they could also track that in MyFitnessPal. So it's nice online being able to provide that accountability much more so than being in person, I think.
Now I know something, my fitness pal. Okay.
Yeah, I
That's
love
interesting.
my
So you
fitness
are
pal.
so in the way we can put it that because of technology that really helps you, that even doing online fitness coaching is possible because there's accountability. Because that's why I'm curious, like how can they be accountable for what they are doing? You can tell them whatever, they can fake it, they can lie it to you, but in the end it's not working. But with technology, it basically helped to mitigate that accountability part, which is
Yes.
amazing. And now I really
Yes.
have a good idea of like how can it be done. If
Yeah.
imagine this could not be possible if it's 10 years ago, like online nutrition and fitness coach will not be possible because the fitness pal my fitness pal does track the food, right? Like they have to,
Yep.
do they like have to
Yeah.
take photos of the food, or they will just enter the food that they
So
are
typically,
consuming?
typically you weigh and measure it, or you could guesstimate using your hand. So this is like typically 3 or 4 ounces. Your thumb is usually
Oh,
like a tablespoon. So
wow.
you could guesstimate, and it has such a huge database of food that you could plug anything in there. Also has a barcode. If you have like a food that has a barcode, you could scan it and it'll put it right in.
Oh, cool. Well, that's a
Yeah.
lot of hacks, like for people who really
Yes.
find a lot of excuses on not tracking their food intake. Like for me is one, like I would sometimes we forget like what we
Yes.
ate. And also the tracking I guess is good. And I didn't know that you can track it on the back office, that
Mm-hmm.
means for them. Okay. Really cool,
Yeah.
really cool. And I'm just curious, at the same time, what are the challenges for you when you first started coaching?
So the challenges for me, there were a couple. So I think my first one and the toughest one to get over was actually charging people, like
Mm.
actually making money, because I felt like, well, these are my friends. I just want to help them. And my husband's like, that's not a business model. Like you
That's
can't make a
man.
profit doing that. That's a charity.
Yeah.
So, knowing your worth and knowing your value, and that, people, you're providing a service to people and you should be
Mm.
paid for that. So that was hard for me to get over, but I'm getting past it, and I'm slowly getting there. But I think that's
Mm.
a big one for a lot of women,
Yeah,
in particular, to
correct.
get over. So that, and again, just there's so much out there to learn and do, and knowing when you need help. So right now I'm looking at, is a virtual assistant right for me
Yeah.
at this time? Because
Mm.
there's just a lot of tasks and not enough hours in the day. So I think asking for help, again, something women struggle with, whether it's childcare,
Mm.
businesses, work. I think
Mm.
people see it as a sign of weakness. So, ask for help when you need it. That's the only way you're going to grow.
Mm. And also, and you pointed out two things that I guess we in our last chat we do bring it up, which is the self-worth, whether like we should get paid. That's what a lot of mompreneurs or a lot of mothers that I talk to, or when I work with them on their business, they are not charging as they should be charging. And they
Mhm.
felt like you were saying, like they felt that, oh, they are my friends, they are mothers, they are stay-at-home mom, they may not have the money and stuff like that. But at the same time, this is what I share with them, and I share with you, and I want maybe to share with the audience that um, whatever time that you're putting out, you're taking away time from your family members, from your children. So the time should be worth as much as what you're worth in your corporate job. For example,
Mhm.
if let's say you are worth $20 per hour, then if you do coaching, you have to at least charge more than $20 or maybe double of it because it's more precious. Because the reason why you want to do this is because you want to maybe if you go full time, you want the flexibility of it. If not, it's something of passion, but you do not
Mhm.
want to feel that you're sacrificing your time for your clients, for your students and stuff like that. So that
Yeah.
is one. And also you mentioned about the help. Like now you recognize that hey, I need a virtual assistant to do all the nitty gritty stuff, the tasks, and that's where a lot of mompreneurs I work with they want to do it all because
Mhm.
they don't trust anybody that could do a good as them, and that's where they start to deplete over time, like physically,
Mhm.
mentally, emotionally, because they get frustrated, and when things are not going good, like maybe their children are sick, or maybe they
Mhm.
have a lot of stress at work, and everything just go off balance. And when they go off balance, they could not do the task as per normal.
Mhm.
Usually they can maybe they can do the can handle 10 clients, but now they can only handle 5 clients, not being productive because
Yeah.
everything around them affects. Like for you, if you could have more time to really do the coaching rather than do the administrative stuff or maybe to follow up and things like that,
Yeah.
then it will be more productive and you can help more people. And also at the same time, what makes you think that is possible that you can have it all? Like the topic of the day is how busy mom can have it all at work,
Mhm.
business, and healthy body, which you are living it now. So how what makes you think that is possible?
So I think it goes back to the comment you made about self-worth and just believing in yourself and knowing, believing in your abilities, having the confidence to say, you know what, I can do it all. Everyone gets the same 24 hours a day. It's what
Mm,
you do with those. It's how you maximize them. So don't say, I can't. It's like, anything is possible. It's even
mm.
in the word impossible has the word possible in it. So if you think you can't, I think you can.
Wow. So it's really on the mindset.
Mhm.
Rather than thinking that you can't, you should think that you can. And
Yes.
thinking rather
Yes.
than thinking of impossible, think that I am
Mhm.
possible. And
Mhm.
that's what impossible meant for people
Exactly.
who look at a different perspective. So
Mhm.
which is really really inspiring. And um, like you, I believe that you have a lot of different clients,
Mhm.
and I believe that they have obstacles. They have things that are stopping them from achieving their goals. So, and what is the thing that that you think that is stopping a lot of mothers from having it all?
I think it goes to support and
Mm,
accountability. It's important that your family and those around you support what, your hopes and dreams are.
mm,
And then, accountability. So when I train for figure competitions, even I have a coach. Like I need
mm,
someone to keep me accountable and push
mm,
me and keep me focused. And I think no matter what your goal is, if it's, to move up the ladder in your career, to grow a business, to get your best body, it pays to invest in yourself with a coach for accountability and support. If you're not getting
mm,
that support at home, then maybe you need to pay someone to give you that support. So I think again, it
mm,
goes back to support and accountability for helping you move towards those goals.
mm. And and like having said that, like moving forward to the goal, like a lot of us have the goal, but what is really stopping us? Like is it because like you were saying the support? I mean,
Mhm.
having the support like from family and stuff like that. But most of the time, they are like the spouse will not be able to support. They will say that, oh, you're spending so much time on this and it's not earning money. How do you overcome that, or what do you do? Like for you, do you have any argument with your spouse that hey, you do not understand my dreams, you do not understand why I'm doing this? Do we have this kind of conversation?
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. You know,
Nothing is
multiple
smooth,
times.
right?
But you know, I think it's important to help them, whether it's your spouse or someone else, understand what your goals are and how you're going to go about them. Because I think that's the key, is having a plan. That it's not just some willy-nilly pie in the sky. One day I'm going to be, you know, whatever. It's like, this is what I want, and this is how I'm going to get there, and this is the time frame that I'm going to give myself to get there. So I think that is key, knowing the steps. You know, because I mean, again, if one of my children came to me and said, yeah, I want to be a rock star, and okay, but if they said, okay, I'm going to take guitar lessons, I'm going to go in a band, I'm going to, you know, they gave me a step by step, and it was like a more, like they really thought about it. I think that helps a lot.
But I'm just find it like, is it possible like for a kid to come to you and tell you that like a step by step thing? Like most of us would
No.
want to. Yeah. So if they do, I guess I would be shocked if my daughter come to me and tell me, Daddy, I want to do this and this and this, and I will become a singer. I will get shocked. I'm like, where do you learn that from? Yeah. But I guess what you mentioned is pretty true. A lot of I realized that when I speak to a lot of mompreneurs or mothers who want to start business, and a lot of time their spouse are not supportive, is because they do not have a plan.
Yeah.
And it's hard for them to come up with a plan because they do not know where to find that plan. So how do you find your plan? Like how do you?
So
aside from
Google searches, aside from great Google, it goes back to, you know, finding that support. So I've invested in business coaches. You had Pat on. She is a business coach. She's helped me with my plan, creating kind of a 90-day. All right, where do you want to be in 90 days? Getting those baby steps. So I think it's, you know, finding the support. And it could be, there's a lot of groups. There's so many Facebook groups of mompreneurs, small business owners. There's so many resources online that we didn't have 10 years ago, that if you really needed help with a business plan, you could easily find it.
Yeah, and I realized that like it's very easy for you to say it out, because I realized that another thing that why you can do that, because your why is really strong. And it's your passion. You know why you're doing all this, and maybe you can share with us that what is your why that is keeping you so passionate, and you really want to do this despite that you have a full-time job and you have kids. And also at the same time, you have your spouse to really take care of him at the same time. Yeah. So what is that why?
So it's funny, you talked about my morning routine, and one of them is going through like my affirmations, like what is my why? Why am I doing this? Why am I like driving every day towards this? And I think it's about security. It's about freedom. It's about being able to walk away from my corporate job and do what I love full time. Being able to support my family doing something I love. I think those are really my whys. I mean, I love the fitness, love doing the online coaching, and it's grueling sometimes. You know, it's hard work, and you really have to put in the effort and the time. But again, going back to the why, it's like, yeah, I want to be able to like just do this full time. Like, how cool would it be to just, you know, wake up and work in your pajamas every day? So that's kind of what keeps me motivated. That in college, you know, I got to pay for these kids to go to college somehow.
Yeah, I can feel your passion when you share, and when you are sharing about all this freedom, about able to do something that you love. And I believe that whether you get paid or not, it does not really matter. But what if you get paid doing something that you love? And that would be amazing. And that's the reason why you are working so hard. Like during the day you are working, and then in the evening you are doing the coaching, and early in the morning you start your day really early, so that you can get yourself prepared mentally, physically, and that is really, really inspiring, your why. And I believe that this will be something that I want to put it out to a lot of mothers, because I came across a lot of mothers, they want to start business, but when I start asking like, what is your why? Like, why are you doing this? If let's say today, if you're not paid doing this, will you still do this? Yeah. So I guess
Yeah.
sometimes it's not that our spouse are not supportive. It's because we don't believe in ourselves. We don't have a stronger reason for us to do the thing. It could be what I call escapism. They want to escape from the corporate job because they sick and tired of it, and it's just that reason to leave the corporate job and to do something of freedom. It's just escape. A lot of time I realize when I talk to a lot of them to find out the why, I realize that most of their why are escapism. They just want to escape from the corporate job they've been doing for the past 10, 20 years. They just want to escape from it. And it's not a strong enough why for them to leave, because they are not passionate about the things that they are going to do or the business they're going to do. Like for you, you are really into, like, you embody the whole fitness thing, and you're smiling, you're looking good, and you believe in that. You're a very good role model. Your parents are very good role models. That's why it's keeping you, it's in your blood, I would say. And that is entrepreneurship. And for you, you are a very good example. Like I mentioned to you, previous conversation, that you are a very good example for a lot of mothers who are thinking that is it possible that I can do a full-time job and building a part-time business, and you are just living it now, and you're loving it, and you're juggling it well, and it's possible. And that's where it explains like why it's possible that to have it all, and you pick a business that you leverage on these two things, which is internet and technology. Like through Skype or through Zoom, and using the my Fitness Pal as the technology for you to make your work better, your business, that help you in the business. You are leveraging on technology, and you are doing a kind of like a service. The coaching is a service, so it's possible. Which I find that a lot of people, when they want to jump into business, they think, oh, I need a product, I need to do e-commerce, I need to sell something, I need to have a brick and mortar cafe and stuff like that. In fact, time have changed. Like what you're doing is very, very suitable for mothers, and that's where a lot of mothers that I come across, they are leveraging on these two things, internet and technology, and it's possible. And thanks for living as the example. And I really wish that I definitely believe that whatever you're doing is going to impact more people, for them to lead a more healthy lifestyle. And also, maybe you can, time has really flies, and maybe you can share with us like how can the audience get connected with you to learn more about all this fitness tip, or maybe they can hear from you what are the nutrition, because I myself, I'm someone that, especially this year, I set a resolution that I want to take care of my own body, watch what I eat. So I believe that a lot of mothers out there, or anybody that's watching this show or listening to this show, they will be curious that how am I going to do this, and maybe to set for the resolution for next year, 2019, because now it's November. So how can I get connected with you, Allison?
Sure. So you can visit my website, which is AllisonJacksonFitness.com. I'm also on Facebook, same thing, at Allison Jackson Fitness, and on Instagram as well. And I'm actually having a holiday blitz, a 4-week don't gain weight during the holidays. So, come visit and sign up, and I would love to help all your listeners.
Wow, now it's a good time to manage our holidays, especially Christmas is coming, a lot of festive, a lot of feasting, and it's a really, really good time. So for those who are watching or listening, I've included Allison's link to her website, to her social media handles. It's all in the description. You can check it out. And before we end the show, there's a tradition I mentioned in the beginning that every guest gets to post the question of the day out to the audience and also to the next guest. So Allison, now is your time for you to post your question of the day. So what is your question of the day?
All right. So my question of the day is going to be, what is your best market research tip for trying to figure out if you have a viable business idea?
Okay. What's the question?
Your best market research tip.
What's your best market research tip? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know a lot of entrepreneurs are trying to figure out if they have a good, business idea. So I think market research is key to that.
That is very interesting. I will need to think about it also. So the question of the day posted by Allison is, what is the best market research tip? Okay, so
Yep.
this question of the day goes out to the audience who are watching or who are tuning on live, and also for those who are watching the replay. And last but not least, also go out to the next guest. So next guest, do get ready for the question of the day posted by Allison. So last but not least, Allison, any last advice for the mothers who are sitting on the fence thinking whether they should step into entrepreneurship or they should pursue their passion like you?
I would say definitely dip your toe in the water and step outside your comfort zone. Try it out. You won't be sorry. You don't want to have any regrets. So if you think 10 years from now, well, I regret not trying out a business idea that I had, you definitely will. So just do it.
Wow. Thanks a lot for your great advice, Allison. And now we have come to the end of the show, and I really thank Allison for making time and for sharing with us all these great tips about how busy mom can have it all at work, business, and have a healthy body at the same time. So thanks, Allison, for all the golden nuggets. Thanks a lot, and thanks for those who are tuning in live, and those who are listening. So I'm Kenneth here, signing off with Allison Jackson. Thank you for watching Mother Industrialist live show, and I shall see you guys in the next episode. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye, Allison.
Bye bye.